Hello, beautiful people, wonderful people, viewers and subscribers all over the world. I'm going to make this one a very quick one. There is this conversation from these two wonderful women. They had this conversation, and I decided to share it with you so that I will bring it back home to Nigeria and particularly Igbo land. Please watch. I'll be right back.
Niger has one of the biggest uranium deposits. How interesting is it that one of the biggest US foreign drone bases happens to be there? One. Two, that France has a strong military presence adjacent to this big uranium deposit. And then finally, that I think it's 1 in 3 French light bulbs, the light bulbs in France, 1 in 3 of them gets energy from that uranium deposit in Niger, in Africa. And let us contrast the reality of the fact that, as far as I know, most of the French population has access to electricity. I think they have 100% electricity
24
access rate.
Last I was there, it was 24 hours a day, always coming out
all
of
the time. What is the access of the people of Niger? It is less than, I think, 15% have access to the grid, let alone the guarantee of electricity. Those are the people of Niger. And I'm saying this because we've just seen in Afghanistan, they've left Afghanistan 20 years, over 2 trillion spent. Is it 2 trillion, right? 2.
I think it's an underestimate. I think it's closer to 6 trillion. But to be generous, we can say 2 trillion. It's still an absurd amount of money.
2 trillion. Let's be generous. And how much of the population has access to electricity? It's less than a third. I think it's closer to a quarter of the population. So in Niger, you have 80+% of the population don't have access to electricity. We've seen what has happened in Afghanistan. Most of the population doesn't have access to electricity. Yet we still don't want to talk about the fact that the US, French, and foreign military armies are essentially protecting their access to these resources at the detriment of the African continent.
Good. You've had it all. These African countries they just mentioned to you now, it's exactly what other African countries are passing through, especially Nigeria. Nigeria has huge oil deposit, but till today, we are still suffering scarcity of petroleum products, especially fuel. Oh yes, the Nigerian political class and the elite class had allocated to themselves and their associates oil wells, and they have succeeded in destroying every public asset refining crude oil, including NNPC. And they now resort to exporting these crude oils they got from their oil wells, and they refine it in their refineries, which some of them have already established outside the shores of Nigeria. And when they finish refining, they bring it back home and sell it to Nigerians at a very high cutthroat prices. And Nigerian people continue to enslave for these people, because almost every economic activities in Nigeria revolves around these petroleum products. Do you know why? You can't power industries without electricity. And today, Nigeria is still living in darkness, and they depend so much on power generators that run on petroleum products in order to, keep the economy or the industries on. Oh yes. Now tell me the kind of economy that Nigeria could have when it is being powered by generator. When Nigeria up to this year is still dangling about power outage, power instability. And that is the underlying factor. And that is how these bourgeois in Nigeria had held Nigeria hostage and Nigerians as their slaves. And the only way to reverse it, like I said, I've already pointed it out, that it is not a rocket science for Nigeria to have 24 hours electricity. But they will not. They will not do it because they are benefiting from your living in darkness. Oh yes. It's so unfortunate that they are still importing power generators, including power stations are running on power generators. Talk about the defaulted NEPA The ones they now call different names, which many of them have allocated to themselves as usual. Public asset. They run on power generator. And that is why things have continued to go down in Nigeria. And Nigerians will continue to suffer. All right. Talking about electricity, it is not a rocket science. In Anambra State alone, we have natural gas in so much quantity, commercial quantity, untapped. We have solar and Wanachabuai coming from the north. They can't harness it. Are we talking about dams? Yet Nigerians are still living in darkness. Now, it's not a rocket science that Nigeria, if it is broken down, since this unitary federalism have failed woefully, if Nigeria is restructured to regional government, having each region to tap into their resources to improve on their lives, I tell you that every Nigerian will start enjoying 24 hours electricity. And your economy will become stable. Because you can't run an economy on power generator. Everything revolves around it. Even common baba, if they tell you how much if they tell you how much they spend in powering their generator, saloon, they spend so much money to power their generators with fuel. We're no longer talking about medium scale industries and mega industries. That is why production here is so high that now people now resort to going to China to bring in inferior products. They bring in inferior products because the Nigerian system is a failure. Because they know that the SON, the one they call Standard Organization of Nigeria, when you bring in any nonsense, they will just collect money and look the other way. So things will continue to do what? Go down. The only way to salvage Nigerians from the impunity of Nigerian state is to insist on regional government, whereby every region will go back home and sort themselves out. Because this divide and rule you called unitary federalism will only harm you all and make your life miserable. It is the people that has the sovereignty. The sovereignty of Nigeria is negotiable by Nigerians because they hold the sovereignty of this country. And it can only happen regionally based. And that is why we are championing a revolution, first, of the mindset of the people. Because this year will become an election political year, getting ready for next year, 2023. My people, do not be deceived by the same recycled, old, expired politicians. Do not allow yourselves to be used, or else you will continue to regret it. I just pray that Nigerians, their eyes will open and they will embrace this truth. And I can tell you, that is the only time Nigerians will be free. It doesn't matter whether you are a Biafran, or Duduwa, or Arewa. As long as you are a Nigerian, you are a slave to these same people. They come from the east, west, north, and south. They are Christians, they are Muslims. There are some of them practicing traditional religion. But no matter what they are all on the same game to make your life miserable. Except you say enough is enough. Let this year be the year Nigerians will rise and say enough is enough. I'm just a voice. I've delivered the message. Happy New Year to you all. As we all together work together to save ourselves from this impunity called Nigerian system. I'm signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share as we take you on this year, every bit of everything you need to know, uncensored. Thank you. I expect your comments. Drop your comments on the comment section. If you've not subscribed, subscribe, like, and share this message to go around. Stay safe, my people. Bye-bye, and enjoy the rest of the New Year celebration. Peace.